Presidential Activity, May 2019. During his meeting with the Minister of Higher Education and the Minister of Health and Population, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi directed to pursue efforts to promote the higher education and health systems in Egypt, being a top priority of the government. During his meeting with the President of the World Bank, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi expressed his aspiration for continued fruitful cooperation between Egypt and the World Bank in support of development efforts of the state. President Sisi received the member of the parliamentary bloc of the Christian Coalition in the German parliament. The meeting discussed the latest developments of the political situation in the region and means of cooperation between Egypt and Germany to face the common challenges. President Sisi witnessed the inauguration of a number of major national projects in Ismailia and Central Sinai, most notably the tunnels of the Suez Canal and the new city of Ismailia. The President then toured the city to inspect a number of major national projects. As well, the President inaugurated the project Long Live Egypt in New Ismailia. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi inaugurated the Nargis Social Club in the new city of Ismailia, which was established with the support of the Ministry of Youth and Sports. President Sisi received the Executive Director of the African Development Agency, NEPAD. During the meeting, the President affirmed Egypt's great interest in supporting NEPAD and its strategies and plans to contribute to the development of the African continent. During his meeting with the Secretary General of the Francophone Organization, President Sisi stressed Egypt's keenness to strengthen cooperation with the organization to fulfill its role in realizing the hopes and aspirations of the peoples of developing countries. During his meeting with the Prime Minister and Minister of Transport, Sisi ordered to pursue the efforts of comprehensively modernizing the transport system in Egypt. The meeting reviewed the executive position of the current projects of the Ministry of Transport. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi held a meeting with the Prime Minister and a number of ministers and senior officials. The meeting discussed efforts to develop and modernize the state's capabilities through the unified system of digital transformation. During his meeting with the Commander-in-Chief of the Libyan Armed Forces, Field Marshal Haftar, President Sisi affirmed Egypt's support for efforts to eliminate terrorism and extremist groups and militias to achieve security and stability in Libya. President Sisi toured Al-Nakhil area at the end of Al-Mushir axis. The President directed boosting service development of the region in a way that serves people and provides them with job opportunities. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi held a meeting with the Prime Minister and the Governor of the Central Bank and a number of ministers and senior officials. The meeting displayed following up the efforts of the government in providing the necessary commodities for citizens during the holy month of Ramadan, with appropriate quantities and prices in the various governorates of the state. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received the King of Bahrain and discussed boosting bilateral cooperation in all fields, as well as ways to enhance joint Arab action in the light of challenges facing the nation at present. President Sisi held a meeting with the Prime Minister and a number of ministers and officials. During the meeting, the President ordered accelerating the development of the new solid waste management system, particularly in the densely populated areas. During a meeting with the Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana, President Sisi pointed out Egypt's keenness to support Ghana's efforts in development and cooperation in the field of capacity building through the various programs organized by the Egyptian Agency for Partnership for Development. President Sisi received the chairman of the AU High-Level Mechanism for Sudan and South Sudan. The President underlined the priority that Egypt attaches to tackle various peace and security issues in the continent through reinforcing African peace and security identity. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi inaugurated some projects via video conference, including the bridge of Captain Martyr Ahmed Hafiz Shusha and the bridge of Lieutenant Colonel Martyr Ahmed Abu Naga. The President also inaugurated the extension of the axis of Al-Mushir and the Martyrs axis. During his meeting with the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi pointed out Egypt's steadfast stance towards the security of the Arab Gulf region as an integral part of Egypt's national security, and touched on a number of crises experienced by some Arab countries. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi participated in the Armed Forces Annual Iftar Banquet in memory of the 10th of Ramadan victory, October War. The President congratulated the armed forces and the entire Egyptian people on the anniversary of the 10th of Ramadan. President Sisi met with the Prime Minister and Minister of Housing. The meeting reviewed the executive position of a number of ongoing housing projects, facilities, and new urban communities. During his meeting with the Prime Minister and Minister of Awqaf, Sisi directed the Ministry of Awqaf to maximize the specialized rehabilitation programs for imams, especially in interaction with the various media. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi inspected preparations and regulatory measures for the 2019 African Nations Cup, scheduled to be held in Egypt next month. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received the President of the Canadian Senate. The meeting witnessed a review of bilateral relations. President Sisi stressed Egypt's keenness to uphold the principle of citizenship and consolidate the culture of pluralism and acceptance of the other. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received a group of citizens from different governorates of the Republic to take breakfast with him at his residence, being keen on meeting directly with citizens to listen to them and their views and talk about their concerns. President Sisi received the chairman of the board of directors and CEO of Noble Energy, a U.S. company specialized in the exploration of natural gas. The meeting discussed the prospects of developing the activities of Noble Energy in Egypt. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received the ambassador of the People's Republic of China in Cairo on the occasion of the end of his term of office. The President granted the ambassador the Order of the Republic of the First Class in appreciation of his efforts in supporting the Egyptian-Chinese relations for more than 8 years. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi met with the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance. The meeting discussed the government's plan for digital transformation through the use of technology applications and transition to non-monetary transactions in all government services. During his meeting with the Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Sisi directed developing the tourism sector in order to raise the competitiveness of this vital sector and maximize its positive contribution to the development of the country. During the meeting with the Prime Minister and Minister of Communications, the President underlined the priority of the telecommunications sector in the country's plans and strategies. The meeting discussed the executive position of the national projects related to the ICT sector. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi held a telephone contact with the Zambian President, during which he expressed his aspiration to continue coordination on issues of security, stability, and development of the African continent. As well, they discussed a number of AU files. President Sisi toured a number of major construction projects in the new administrative capital, during which he was briefed on the executive position of the projects and the progress of action, stressing the need to adhere to the timetable set for completion of these projects. Sisi delivered a speech on the occasion of the Day of Africa, in which he stressed the need to take advantage of the capacities of the private sector, as well as the efforts of the African governments, thus contributing to the construction of pioneer continental projects to develop the African infrastructure. President Sisi met with the Minister of Public Sector, Hisham Tawfiq. During the meeting, the President directed to implement comprehensive reforms of the sector to contribute effectively to the national economy, as well as to the efforts of sustainable development in Egypt. During his meeting with the Prime Minister and the Minister of Investment and International Cooperation, President Sisi stressed the importance of developing mechanisms to promote investment opportunities available in the Egyptian market, especially within the framework of the ongoing major national projects. President Sisi held a meeting with the Prime Minister and a number of ministers and senior officials. The meeting tackled the executive position and the schedule of the project of the Egyptian Grand Museum. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi headed to Saudi Arabia to participate in both the Arab Emergency Summit and the Summit of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation.